I never know how to start a book haul. Hi everyone, it's Brittany and I'm here with a book haul. I feel like every time I film a book haul I have to set this disclaimer from the beginning that these are unnatural for me. I'm not trying to brag. I just want to talk about fun and exciting books that are coming out or that I recently acquired. So I'm just going to share, this is absurd. I have quite a few books that I've acquired since the beginning of the year, either through myself or from publishers. So I just wanted to check in and share some of those books with you today. I'm just gonna jump into it. The first book that I wanted to share with you today was kindly sent to me by Putnam, and it is the book Sissy. I'm very excited for this book for a few reasons. One, it's a memoir, always my favorite. It covers the topic of gender, specifically being gender fluid, and that is also one of my fave topics. It's really important to me. And I actually had the opportunity to go to Jacob Tabia's event here in Seattle, and they signed my book, and I'm very excited about it. Truly one of the best events I've ever been to. I feel like this is definitely going to be one that I'm gonna prioritize in the month of April, which will probably be featured in an April Reading Hopes video. I was also kindly sent a book from Knopf. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's what we're going with, and it is The Weight of a Piano. I love this book, it's so pretty, and from what I know of it, I know it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. I think there is a little bit more historical fiction in this. I'm not totally sure what to expect out of this one. I have heard really good things, and I'm excited to try it because I know it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. And then the time has come. I feel really lucky in that I was able to read an art copy of this book a little while back and now have the finished copy thanks to Booksparks and Random House. It is Daisy Jones and the Six. If you have not read this book yet, I'm not gonna fault you, but you're running out of time. You need to get it immediately. What's so funny is when this was first coming out, I was like, I get why people really want to read this, and I didn't think it was going to be for me at all. I can't remember if I've talked about this in a wrap-up or not, but I actually ended up really loving it. I think the most important thing to know is that it's written in an interview format, so if that's not your thing, then I don't think that you'll like this one. I just want to put that out there. Especially by the end, was like, whoa. This is the first larger book that I've read by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I get it now. I get why she has the following she has. I want to read all her books now. I totally get it. Oh, I love this. And I'm a book shark with Bookspark, so very excited about that. I was also kindly sent a few more books from Random House. First one is You Think It, I'll Say It. This is the paperback release of this book, and I'm really excited because Reese Witherspoon is reading this, I think for the month of March, actually. I'm not totally sure, but I know she's reading it recently, and I've just heard so many great things about these stories. So really looking forward to reading this one. Also received The Art of Leaving, which is another memoir. Really on a memoir kick, but that's kind of the story of my whole life. But I was really excited about this one because I've been really looking for memoirs written by people that have different cultural experiences and backgrounds from me. And it's just like an extra added bonus if it also touches on topics that are really important to me. And this book covers the topic of grief, and the mixture of those two things are something that I'm really looking forward to. I believe it's set in India. And I will check in once I read it. The last book I received from Random House is Running Home, another memoir, and I'm excited for this one because I love a story of personal triumph in some way. When I read the synopsis, I just felt like I needed to know her story, so I'm really looking forward to learning more about her and her story. I have been reading quite a lot of memoirs this year in particular, and it's definitely and always has been and always will be my preferred genre. I just love the realness of hearing someone's story. This one will come up very soon as well. All of those books are already released too, so they're available. The book I'm currently reading was kindly sent to me by Scribner, which I believe I've been calling Scribner for a long time. I think both are right. It's because I think of like a medical scribe or like someone that's anyways, whatever. The book is Lie With Me, and this has been something that I've been really looking forward to reading for a long time. It's a translated book, and it covers a male-male romance, and I love that, and am loving it so far. Hopefully, really hoping to finish this one before April so that it can be in my wrap-up, and we can talk about it and all the things. I was also sent Love and Death in the Sunshine State by Algonquin Books, and I haven't read a thriller in quite a while, and this seems like more than a thriller. Like, it covers like a case, which is pretty much all I do in the podcast world, so I'm excited to read this, and I think that I treasure my memoir experiences more and like other mental health books more when I do take breaks with like YA or thrillers, because I get a lot of enjoyment from those books, and it sort of just like reinvigorates me. So this will happen soon, I'm sure, when I burn out on memoirs. I also recently purchased Edinburgh, which I hope I'm saying that right. That's the scariest part of BookTube. Am I saying anything right? I guess we'll find out. But the reason I purchased this is I was actually at Elliott Bay with Jenna and Haley, two friends from Bookstagram, and I was going to purchase Alexander Chee's his memoir, How to Write an Autobiographical Novel, I think is what it's called. It's Red, but I realized I hadn't read one of their novels, so picked that up and am gonna give it a try just because I hear so much praise for that memoir. Is it memoir or essays? I'm not sure. Really killing it in the Hall realm. I think that would be a more authentic experience reading at least one of the books before reading that memoir. I'm gonna call it a memoir because how many times can I say memoir in this video? Let's take a guess. And per Haley's recommendation, I bought the book Pretty Things. I have talked about this before for certain, but I love translated books, and this one, when she was reading it and I was watching her review it on Instagram, just seemed really complex and complicated, and that's how you describe all the books I read, so had to get it. Haley also recommended to me They Can't Kill Us Until They Kill Us, which is a collection of essays that I believe covers mostly the topic of music. Also a little bit outside my realm, but I'm really excited to read it. Everyone that I've seen talking about it is really glad that they read it, so really excited for this one. I need to start this sooner rather than later. I keep like looking at it and wanting to pick it up, and then like I don't know what happens, but it will happen. A few more books I received from Scribner, also known as Scribner in my heart. I received a final copy, the paperback version of Heavy, which thank you so much, thank you. I'm so glad. I'm very excited that I get to read this. I've heard so much positive praise about this, and lo and behold, it's a memoir, so it will definitely happen soon. I also received the book Turbulence, and I cannot remember fully what this is about, and I remember when I read the synopsis isn't on the back of this arc, but I remember when I read the synopsis, I was like, ooh, that's the one for me. I also love a small book. A small book that packs a punch is the definition of books that I love, so very much pleased that this one is in my hands. I also received All the Water in the World, and when I read the synopsis for this, it really gave me feelings of like, I love a story that is about like identity and like coming of age that also incorporates like complex family issues, and that is what I felt from reading the synopsis of this, so I'll have to check in once I read it. I think it'll be a good one for the summer. It comes out in August, and Turbulence comes out in July, so these are some good summer reads from Scribner. Another one a little bit outside of my realm, but one that I'd really like to challenge myself in reading, was sent to me by Get Read PR and Harper Perennial, and it is In Another Time. My partner really enjoys historical reads and movies and things like that, and so I've really been trying to branch out so that, I don't know, we can connect or something. But really, there are stories that I read that I think are technically historical fiction that I do end up liking, and it just has to be like very niche history that interests me. So I think that this will fall in that category, and I'm really excited to find out. I'm very glad that I have this in my possession. Simon Books kindly sent me The Trial of Lizzie Borden, and it covers the true story of Lizzie Borden. So, you know, I'm coming back from all my memoirs and fiction. I'm gonna read some thriller and some scary business in the next few months, maybe this spring and summer. I'm going to incorporate more thrillers and kind of like the creepier books in my life. This one just came out on March 12th, so it is available now, and I've seen good things, so that's a good sign. Last book, if you watched my Bainbridge Island video, I recently purchased the book Shout. This is by the same author who wrote the book Speak, so if you haven't read Speak, then you may not know a lot about what this book would be about. I do read a lot of books that cover topics of trauma, especially when it's somebody's personal story. I am a mental health therapist, and I have a bias towards wanting to read those kind of books. So I picked this up. Morgan from NYC Book Girl was speaking about this on her Instagram and really got me excited about it, so that was the reason I chose this one. All right, that's my update. That's my little big haul, and I have a lot of work to do. If you have any of these books or have read them, as always, please let me know. I'd love to chat about them. I feel like there's a few standouts in here that I'm like, I need to read them ASAP. So if you've read any of them, I'd love to hear your experiences. If you have any recommendations for me, please leave them below. All of these books will be listed in my description with my social and all of those things, and anyone I mentioned will be below. And I appreciate you watching. See you in the next one. Bye.